So you've just landed your first 9 to 5 gig. I am so happy for you. Congratulations. However, surviving the first week the right way is very important. Come closer. Let me let you in on the secrets to surviving your first week like a pro. Starting your first 9 to 5 role is like stepping into a different world where you need to know who is who, what's happening, who are the higher ups, who do you need to meet, who do you not need to offend, and the people that will become your tribe in your office. The first week is very important, and a lot of people miss this step when they just start a job. And I'm here to just provide clarity and just give you a few tips that can help you on your 9 to 5 journey. Hi, my name is Cookie, and you're welcome to my channel. The first tip I have is to not get burnt out on your first week. There are three main things that you need to do on your first week. The first one is settling in, the second one is asking a lot of questions, and the third one is soaking everything in, learning how the place works, learning who you need to speak to, learning who you're supposed to ask what questions, and who works in what department. You genuinely don't need to overdo on your first week. Let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, if you overdo on your first week, it always comes back to bite you in the butt. So take note of this. The second tip that I'll say is that you need to learn the office or organizational structure in your first week. That way, you know who reports to who. Of course, you may not know them by face or by their names, but at least you know that, okay, there's a director. This director reports to this person, or this person reports to this person. Also, try as much as possible to learn people's names. It just makes it better. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to know the names of everybody on the first day, but it's just something that you need to make conscious effort to learn people's names and try as much as possible to pronounce their names properly, and also type their names properly in emails, because it's good behavior. Basically, it just shows that you care about the people that are around you and you're not just a douche. Of course, this goes without saying, avoid drama, please. If you're the type of person that drama always follows you, or you always have drama, please, the office is the absolute last place that you want to have drama, because that's where you're basically getting your livelihood from. Okay? The third thing I'll say is that you need to set a routine that will work for you. Of course, you're not going to have your routine down by the first week, but you need to start creating habits that are going to help you. If not, by Wednesday, you're going to be crashing out, and you don't want to go to work looking like a zombie. You want to appear sharp and ready to put your best foot forward. Your workday does not start when you get to the office. Your workday actually starts when you wake up in the morning, how you wake up in the morning, and the routines that you create for yourself. And I know how this sounds, because I didn't used to appreciate routine before, but now, after like working for some time now, and I feel like routine is definitely what makes the whole thing like work well. Routine is what makes it possible, because if not, you can't function. A good tip for your routine is to plan your outfits during the weekend. To be honest, planning your outfits during the weekend is a lifesaver, because even when you wake up late, you still have an outfit to just put on your body and like zoom out the door. A bonus tip in planning your outfits is to have a no iron outfit. This is just a random tip that I have, but it's something that has worked for me multiple times. In fact, I have several no iron outfits, so that if I wake up late, or if I'm not able to iron them during the weekend because of, procrastination, or like maybe I was really busy during the weekend, but it's usually mostly procrastination. You have outfits that can save you literally, and these outfits have saved me. So you should definitely have no iron outfits. It helps with the whole routine thing. The next point that I have is that you need to start building relationships as early as your first week. So remember, I said you need to learn people's names and call them properly or type them appropriately in emails. That will help you in fostering relationships. Remember to ask questions. Of course, you're new, so a lot of people are going to be asking you your name, where did you work before? What did you study if you're just a new grad? So make sure to also be reciprocating. Ask people questions as well. Ask them, oh, what did you do before you started working here? How long have you worked here? Just simple questions that can get people conversing. And please make sure to listen and don't just yap about yourself, because it just shows that you are also interested in them. And knowing stories or hearing stories from people is a great way for you to remember their names, because then you associate them with the story that they have told you. Does that make sense? On this note, I want to point out that you shouldn't feel pressured or feel the pressure to join in group activities already in your first week. You can, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You are still getting settled in, you're still getting accustomed to the environment. You don't want to do things too early. And in my opinion, going out for like an after work thing in your first week is a tad bit too early. It's not bad, you can do it, but I'll suggest, to me, I feel like it's a week two thing, if you get what I mean. Right? Am I the only person? Tell me in the comments if you think that going out in week one is okay. Not saying that it's bad, but this is just me. The fifth tip I have is for you to learn the basics early. You need to be able to learn the basics of the job, whatever it is that they are teaching you, the software that they are using. Of course, you're not going to know every single thing, but be familiar with it, familiarize yourself with it, and set like attainable goals for yourself. Track your learnings, track the things that you're doing so that you can know, okay, on Monday I wasn't able to do this, or on Monday I logged into all this, but I wasn't able to use this software. But by Wednesday, I've logged into the software and I've used it a bit. I've just, played around. This is just a vague example, but typically you need to know that you know all the basics, and you need to start like taking, okay, I've learned this one, I've learned this one, just so that if anybody asks you, oh, how is your first week going? How's your induction going? Or whatever they ask you, you can say, oh, yes, I've done this, this, and this. You don't want to start like blabbing when they ask you, oh, how's your first week going? Because that's typically what they ask a lot of like newbies, newcomers. Everybody asks you, how is your first week going? It's not malicious or anything. They just care and they want to know. You don't want to ramble on. You want to like have your talking points. It's little things like this that just make an impression about you. You need to record your small victories as well. In the first week, there may not be a lot of victories, but you need to record your small victories. A good software that I have learned about is Monday.ai. Is a web app, I'll say, that helps you just track your victories. It's good. It's never too early to start tracking your victories. It's never too early to start writing, because sometimes when you wait till you've done a job a couple of times, or when you wait till you're now used to the job, you can take some of the things that you've done for granted. Take down the notes of every software that you're using, the ones that you've never used before. This will help you later when you're trying to update your CV or just update your portfolio, right? Clarify what your responsibilities are expeditiously. You need to go through your job description, also known as JD, and you need to also speak with your manager or whoever is going to be in charge of you, and clarify what they expect of you for like the first week, the first month, and the first 3 months. This is a great way for you. If you have like a probation period, knowing these steps and knowing all these tips is a great way for you to come back and show measurable action points that you've acted upon, or measurable goals that you have achieved. Your first week goal, your 1 month goal, and your 3 months goal. That way, if you're having your final probation interview, or if you're having your, yes, typically a lot of offices tend to have probationary periods that go from 3 months to 9 months, and some places going as much as 1 year. You need to be keeping like tabs on what you're doing and what you're achieving. If not, it's going to be extremely difficult for you. You need to get in the habit of doing this in your first week, because if not, it's going to be difficult for you to keep up with like the first month or the 3 months, because a lot can happen in a month, believe me, especially in an office. The next tip I have is that you need to avoid overcommitting. Don't say yes to everything. It also does not mean that you should say no to everything. There's balance. A simple can we circle back on this at a later date, as I am currently engaged doing XYZ, or I'm happy to help with this, but can I do it at a different time as I am currently occupied at the moment? That sort of thing. Something polite but sweet. And sometimes you don't need to say yes or no. Just something very casual like this can get the job done. Overpromising and underperforming is the worst thing that you want to set a precedent of. You'd rather undercommit and overdeliver anytime, any day, to be honest, in my opinion. Finally, you are allowed to make mistakes. It is your first week. Honestly, if you don't make mistakes in your first week, when are you going to make mistakes? Make all the mistakes that you can possibly make in your first week, so that they can correct you as much as they can, and you will not need to be making, you don't want to be making week one mistakes in your 3 months mark, by your 3 month mark, or by your 1 month mark. So make all the mistakes that you can make. Don't be afraid, don't be shy to ask questions. Everybody, they hired you because you're good at what you do. They hired you because they need your services. They need you there as a person. So don't get lost in the sauce. Just know that your work is valid. You are valid. Nobody is better than you. Relax and you do great. Finally, I'd say that you need to master the art of follow up. and opening your mouth to ask questions. I know I said it before, but truly, really and truly is something that you must learn to do, follow up, just so that you don't end up giving somebody what they didn't ask for, and it was all because of a miscommunication that could have been cleared up if you just ask the question. If somebody assigns a task to you or asks you to do something, make sure to follow up with an email clarifying, something like, just clarifying this, just regarding this issue or regarding this project. I just want to clarify that you want me to this, and that. Like, just list the things that the person has asked. Please feel free to use ChatGPT. Of course, you're going to tweak it and turn it how you want, but feel free to use ChatGPT. Honestly, you're new there. You also don't want to sound incorrigible, right? You want to sound like you're teachable, but you're also still assertive. That's the word. A good way to keep track of the work that you do there is to use like the Kanban method, like for project management, depending on what your role is. Or you can even just use your notes app, or you can send emails to yourself, reminding yourself of the tasks, or just setting alarms. Typically, if you have a manager, a lot of the work that you guys are doing as a team would already be in the general project management app or software that you guys use. Assuming that a lot of offices use Microsoft, which they do, you may have access to Microsoft Planner. Make use of your Microsoft Planner. It's going to come in handy a lot. You don't want to come the next week and you have forgotten to do things that they asked you to do in week one. Do you get what I mean? If you follow all the tips that I have mentioned, you should be able to ace your first week with flying colors. However, after the first week, you are going to quickly realize that working in corporates can be a bit tedious, and you would eventually realize that you want your time and your freedom back. A good way to get freedom and even time back is by having passive income, something that you are passionate about doing, something that can earn you more money while you're in corporates. I always say that corporate is a good way to, you know, have the building blocks of your money, building blocks of like retirement funds, building blocks of even a business, because it teaches you structure. But corporate for money, especially as a beginner, it takes a while for you to, the effects of compounding in corporates are a lot, but at the beginning, they don't necessarily make you very rich or very wealthy. So, in my next video, I'm going to be explaining side hustles or passive income ideas that you can implement as a 9 to 5er or as somebody that works in corporate. If you want to see this video, click here now and let's get into it real quick. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Cookie and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.